everything, and instantly Reckless or Fedven goes down. So a lot of good different options. Also, obviously, Ezreal is one of the champions who can escape from the Poppy W because it is a Blinky's E. Therefore, it doesn't get interrupted.
Luckily for Fnatic, there's a lot of magic damage on the side of Origen, so they can prioritize some MR, and that's definitely going to help against those team fights.
Now, without further ado, it's time to load up onto Summoner's Rift and kick off the 2016 LCS season!
I think that Fnatic is a slight downgrade from the old Fnatic.
I think Origen gonna be better than last splits.
Definitely. The Origen has an advantage over other teams who change their rosters. Taking 2 gambles has a higher chance of failure.
Reckless and Fnatic both need to go more to the carry role.
I never really thought highly of Power Vivo because his champion pool is not that big and he's a very predictable player.
And here we are, on to Summoner's Rift to start off the season in Europe. And who could ask for a better game? Fnatic and Origen. And we are on to the Rift.
And wow, some fighting words straight out the gate. Rebevin saying he doesn't really rate PoE. He's got LeBlanc, he's got the Assassin. Let's see if he can exactly make his statements come true.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
You see the flags flying all the way around.
It's already turned into a premier rivalry between these two teams, even if it's a short history. Some former players, of course. Everyone knows the story. We won't get into it too much, as looks like Fnatic wants to posture aggressively up on the top side.
And I must admit, I'm pretty surprised with the Fnatic composition, especially the last 2 picks coming in. I wasn't expecting to see Zac again. I think a lot of the early game junglers have so much power. Elise was open if they wanted it. Rek'Sai was open as well. It's been fantastic over in the LCK with Tremor Sense. Now that you have less wards on the map. For now though, Fnatic are setting up for the standard invade level 1. Remember, minions do spawn faster now, 115. So once you go in and put down these wards for level 1, you're basically forcing yourself to either be a little bit late to your lane or to do a camp, or you have to go towards the top side with your dual lane. You see Fnatic now rushing down towards the bottom side. The minions are already on its way. Origen has some deep vision there, so they haven't spotted anything, and Fnatic didn't manage to really obtain a whole lot from this level 1.
Reckless gets spotted as well, so does Noxiac, so they know that this is being started on the red side. They move to set up a few wards of their own, but this is going to be a quicker push for OG.
Fnatic is definitely delaying the trip to the bottom lane from Reckless and Noxiac. Let's see if they lose anything down here. Might be 1 minion dropping before.
It's not the greatest loss. We'll have to see how Reckless takes advantage of the lane, anticipating the tier from Sven. So once this lane does play out a little bit, in theory Reckless is going to have more damage to put down.
For sure.
Despite the disadvantages that Noxiac's Poppy's going to have into Mithy's Trundle.
I definitely give the early to mid game to the Lucian. Gets the BF sword, a bigger spike. And when you got to stack over tiers, and Ezreal obviously doesn't give you a whole lot to offer. One thing there is changed with the minion waves is the first wave arriving. The minions now, or the melee minions, will always target each other. They won't go 3 guys against 1. So the RNG there used to be, if you were late to lane, where if you were unlucky, all the minions were hitting the same one and killing it, you lost some experience. That doesn't happen anymore in the first wave. That's also why Reckless and Noxiac can take that slow route, pull the red buff, and then go down to the bottom lane and still do fine in terms of experience.
Right, they didn't lose much off it. You could already see Sven had to be pushed back just a little bit. Mithy taking a lot of damage from Noxiac. Very aggressive on this Poppy support, and it's a good start for the new Fnatic bot lane.
Going to get themselves marginally ahead. We'll see how Mithy and Sven handle themselves. Luckily, Mithy will sustain up through that Trundle passive, but I want to also keep my eyes on Spirit. Currently level 3, waiting to get access to Let's Bounce and the ridiculous range of the Elastic Slingshot. So I quite like the impact he can have in teamfights later in the game. Layden's to make sure he can get through any pressure that Amazing wants to put down if and when.
Yeah, you really surrender a lot of early game pressure when you play a jungler like Zac, because again, he needs to scale up. Level 6 ganking is okay for him, but you want to get that slingshot leveled up. Extra range coming in for it. Amazing will have that control and should be able to keep the control for the entire early to mid game. And that's going to be needed because you want Oriana to scale up. You want the Israel to scale up here. So Origen will have some slower laners in that sense compared to Lucian and LeBlanc.
Cheeky move from Spirit. Chases Amazing away from his own Raptor camp. Now back to the bottom side. Sven goes so low. Noxiac goes forward, gets the ignite on him. He's out of lane already. The pillar's there, but they couldn't stop that traffic.
So we talked about this in Champ Select. When you play against Trundle support, you need to always target that AD carry. If you start hitting the Trundle, he starts taking away some of your stats. He's very tanky. He's super annoying to deal with. So what they do here is they have the passive ready from Noxiac, and they time it. Reckless Space is saying go, or Noxiac is saying go. The aggressive lane now, and they time the hit from Poppy with the EQ, and also the dash forward from Reckless, proc the Thunderlords, and you get a lot of burst damage down. And this Ezreal, he can't really return any damage. He just has to dash away instantly. So good coordination from Fnatic, and a very different lane compared to the Yellow Star Reckless one we normally see, where it's farm first and then trade later.
We'll find out if it can get Reckless and Noxiac any sort of advantage. Quickly mentioning the keystones. Origen running Thunderlords. Small differences on the side of Fnatic. Strength of the Ages for Spirit Zac. Gamsu with that Olaf is actually running Fervor of Battle. So a little bit of a divergence. Not too surprising really. Down bottom, Sven below 100 hit points. Mithy's now caught between Reckless and Noxiac, but Amazing is coming to play. There's a teleport available if anyone wants it. Reckless takes a tower shot and gives up first blood.
And
It's not over yet.
Amazing, he's gonna go down too. Gamsu will pick him up on the back half of that one, a 1-for-1 trade. But it's jungler for 80. Spirit's looking to come in, and he's got Sven on his mind. Jumping in, blobs it up, and there's another kill. Now Mithy's got a flash away. Noxiac and Spirit still on the chase.
This entire setup from Fnatic, it starts in the top lane where Gamsu is pushing in that lane, and then he's telling his team, I can teleport now, I won't lose a whole lot. So Fnatic, they go aggressive. Again, they time the passive from Noxiac with the burst. They know Spirit is nearby, and Gamsu is already teleporting. So despite losing Reckless and giving first blood, they get 2 kills, and the only thing Origen gets back is some damage on his top tower, and of course Gamsu sacrificing a little bit of CS.
Yeah, but that's really nothing compared to that little bit of extra they got back for themselves. 2 kills to 1 on the score now, 400 gold in the lead, and Spirit already playing like his aggressive self, but this is a level of coordination that we did not see at IEM. This is a great start for Fnatic.
Let's see how they get the rest of their team ahead. Luckily, Spirit and Gamsu are the ones in the lead. Power of Evil showing off the Thunderlords plus Shockwave combo. Some lane dominance as expected, but look behind. Spirit, he's charging, the slingshot's fired!
Jumped on up to him, and he looks for more damage as Fevin comes on in, but Mithy's there for the backup a little low. Gets stopped up by the traffic cone, so he's safe for now, but you've got to be careful. That Zac distance can be so ridiculous. Sven taking a lot of damage. There's that Thunderlord's proc.
For everyone at home watching, every time Fnatic goes in for gank or trade, try and look at the minimap. You can see 2 or 3 guys already moving just before it starts. Here, we had Noxiac roaming from bottom lane, and Gamsu was running from top lane, ready to collapse in the mid lane in case there was a long fight happening. So Fnatic are constantly moving around the map, trying to create plays. We talked about how Oriana and Israel, they want to scale up here. They don't really want to fight this early. Fnatic knows that. So despite having a weaker early jungler, they're not afraid to force fights.
And this is just so impressive, especially from the bottom side of Fnatic, because as you mentioned, with the Yellow Star lane, this was a much different team. We know that Reckless, despite his name, had always been a much more conservative carry. This time, it is a much different face. Yes, he's on Lucian. Yes, this is a super aggressive lane bully versus the Ezreal, but we're seeing him be completely unleashed with Noxiac here.
Luckily, Reckless was showing that when needed to play more aggressive, he could do so, and he picked that up last year. But if you look at some of the itemization, both Febivin and Power of Evil going to work their way towards those chili ghosts, even with the nerf here in 6.1 still. Still
I like it. I like it.
They're icy.
They are spooky still, though.
I'm not so
It's the secondary...
look at PoE.
Okay, chains are on, but Febivin's out. Nice trade for him.
Yeah. If you take a look down bottom, no trading going on as Mithy, he's way out of line. He's sticking forward, actually going to start the fight. Pillar of Ice just to cancel the retreat, and Noxiac and Reckless come away relatively okay. But look at Sven's item build. He's gone pickaxe over tier very early on.
Well, simply for him, he's realizing in trouble in the lane here. He also hasn't had enough gold to get a pickaxe, so he's going to delay that tier coming in for himself just to get some more combat stats right now at this very moment. Origen quickly realizing, okay, Fnatic are forcing fights. This is not the normal Fnatic bottom lane where we can make a gentleman's agreement and just farm for 20 minutes. It's not going to happen in this game, so definitely taking Origen by surprise in the start.
And look at Spirit. He's got himself a 14 CS advantage. He's been involved in a kill already. Or has just hit level 6 ahead of Amazing on Lee Sin. This is a great start to the game, but now he needs to make use of this power, this level, this ultimate ability in terms of finding more kills and maybe even getting away with some dives if they want to.
He's still only going to get stronger and stronger. It's also why I'm very happy to see him not playing Italy, not trying like all in on the middle lane in the early game.
Oh, nice dodge. Febiven with the fancy fingers.
He's controlling this mid lane at the moment. Always trading with power people. However, it's hard to take down Orianna.
Yeah.
So she can always just farm back, and she's just gonna look to push the wave over and over. See if you can keep Orianna stuck in that mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, OG really wants to maybe get these later later fights happening for them, but it's gonna be a while before they can do that, especially with the late tier that's gonna come out for Sven. In the meantime, this longer laning phase, Fnatic is perfectly happy with it. They're growing their gold lead by just a little bit. It's still only about 500, but they're off to a fantastic flying start, if you will, and they're keeping even in some places where it looks like they should be falling behind.
This is a mistake from Amazing, and this is something all players in solo queue and professional play, they should really remember. The fact we don't have green wards anymore. The pink wards are so important when they're being placed. You should always check.
Missed it.
Always check
Unlucky.
a bush like this one.
Wait. Oh, let's talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, down bottom, Miffy, he's looking for Reckless. Here comes Amazing.
Teleport, they've exhausted Reckless, so as around the backside, they locked him up and take him down. Shock one more up for the Origen boys with a teleport spent.
Rick is feeling confident he could push out the lane because Sven had gone back to base. And then Origen just collapses and kills him. Basically setting up a small trap for him. We'll take Dragon as well. We can trade for Rift Hill. I'll take Dragon number 1 over Daumen.
Let's find out how they use it. Febiven gonna come to help out. Power Evil's already completed his Chili Ghosts, as you will. And the first Rift Herald of European LCS secured. Buff donated to Febiven. I like that on the range champions. Allows you to help push towers a little more, but to Fisher, we were talking extensively about this buff earlier today. The additional attack speed on your minions, not the biggest of impacts.
No, I think the buff is just a little bit too weak because again, it doesn't help your minions survive. And that's the big thing, you know, when you're against a mage like Orianna, yes, you might buff up the attack speed of your minions, but if he can just put the ball on them and kill them instantly, like we see right here, those minions will never really do a whole lot. We might see it more coordinated later against low wave tier champions where you can build up a wave and buff them up and you can really push some towers. The 10-minute one is a reaction from Fnatic saying, okay, you're taking Dragon because you got a kill. We take something on the top side.
Right. In the meantime, though, as long as this laning phase continues, Febiven's going to keep trying to bully out Power of Evil, and you can see it in the summoners, too, rocking that Ignite instead of the teleport that PoE has got. So a little double pressure on the side of OG, but you already knew they wanted to start fights instead.
Noxic is really sticking to the style he showed last year in the LCS. He's always looking to roam. Look how he's constantly sitting in the river. So whenever Reckless is moving anywhere, Noxic is already gone. Now, fight in mid lane.
Febiven, he's gone way too low. Amazing's there. The Chili goes to slow him down. It's gonna hit him, and there's the clone showing the location. Boom, one more ball. In comes Spirit, but he is way too late to the party. Bounces away, but they're going for him. Amazing, pops the globules. Gamsu is 1v3. He takes out Power. He almost takes out Amazing, but he stays alive. Dodging away from the axe, and now it's a Soaz fest with him. And Spirit's going forward on Amithi. It is not over yet, guys.
Yeah, the Pillar of Ice interrupts the Elastic Slingshot. Gamsu and Noxiak looking for more. One undertow connects. Noxiak is trying to use that steadfast presence, but it will not interrupt. A flash root from Soaz locks Gamsu in place. Puts the tomb down, but it will not send Gamsu to his grave. And Spirit's going to be able to evacuate. I think he lost his passive. I want to double check that one. At the end of the day, chaos.
Yeah, a lot of close calls here, a lot of members almost dying. Gamsu just missed that one last axe here onto Amazing, but again, it starts with a fight in the mid lane, trading between these two mid laners. Spirit, he wants Soaz.
Looking for him now, the spooky ghosts are on, and Soaz is taken out by Febiven, a last shot, and they keep the action heavy.
So the spooky ghosts, they are nerfed, they are weaker on this patch. Obviously, they need to travel the full duration to do the 5-second slow and so on. The longer they travel, the better they are. you still need to be careful. You cannot just sit and wait in the middle of lanes because they will catch you. People will go for the kills. Let's see what happens. So it's Shockwave onto Featherven. Already starting the fight. Amazing is here, and Source is roamed down from top lane without teleport. And he just sets up this big fight with an early kill for Origen, and look how close it is. Gamsu with ulti. Olaf is super strong here in the early game. Takes down one. Almost takes down two. Dodging that one. And now we see the rest of Origen and Fnatic come roaming up with the moves.
Yeah, some props to Noxiac, keeping a little bit of interference in that bottom lane Joe before eventually peeling back. Look at Gamsu, he had a first item Spirit Visage as well. So it takes not the most amount of damage from this AP Lissandra, which is not a big surprise.
Obviously very strong against these double AP comps that Origen are running on their side. But also, we see with like Lissandra E, we see with Ezreal Blink and so on, they won't get interrupted by Poppy. It's dashes. So like you can still use these abilities to get away from Poppy or engage onto her.
Speaking of engaging on Poppy, Noxiac is going to take the route to knock Amazing into the wall. Spirit's slingshotting his way in. Sven's going to flash that one away. He gets kicked back by Amazing. A teleport coming in, and that is the cue for Fnatic to bow out of this fight. They don't have the members to deal with it right about now, and that could have been bloody.
I feel like these teams just want to fight.
There's no towers in this game.
All of the
That's
time.
all they
They're
want.
not pushing towers, anything. They're just fighting constantly against each other. They meet in the river and just go crazy.
They were watching the LPL this morning too, I think.
Let's find out if the fight can continue. Mithy and Sven, they've managed to back away. I retract the statement going forward. Mystic Shot is going for Sven. He Ogden shifts forward. I don't know if he wants that. They get the exhaust out of Mithy. Now Noxiac is moving backwards. He's got that giant hammer. He decides not to swing it. And summon a spell blow. Mithy, flash and exhaust.
Legend spotted Spirit sitting in the river. He's been here for about a minute. Walking between bot lane and mid lane looking for that one gang. Trading in top lane.
Gamsu is on to Soaz, and he is going to Frozen Tomb himself, but Gamsu can walk right into it, and he Ragnarok's his way to a kill! Fantastic. Not over yet, though, as Amazing looks to chase him down. Can the Viking get away from the Blind Monk? I don't think so. He sees him coming, and he should just... play! I don't believe it!
Amazing missed both his Qs. He didn't get any damage down to him, just auto attacks. And Gamsu, after a great play up in top lane at first, taking down Soaz, he gets second one. It's not holo yet, but Gamsu is starting off great.
Nobody expected Gamsu to be the new Huni, but boys, 4-0, 15 minutes into the game, I think we got ourselves a carry.
Well, let's see what he can do with the rest of the game. Noxiac's in trouble. Pillar of Ice will slow him down, but he's going to be able to make his way out, thanks to those boots of swiftness, which we are seeing a lot more on this patch. Cheaper boots, with the prevalence of slows in the game as well, just how valuable it really is.
Yeah, very cost efficient. When you see Spooky Ghost in every single game, that's obviously a slow, so slow resistance, 25% from the boots is super useful. Basically just taking a lot of the Moby boots for most supports. We see from top laners very often as well. It's just an overall great item now because the game is so evolved around slowing people.
You see just how effective Gamsu's build was earlier. We know how scary Olaf gets when he loses HP. Got some of that hit point regeneration. He's got
Amazing is gonna feel terrible about that fight.
Got Fervor of Battle as well, so starts to stack that one up on Soaz. Amazing, level 9, he's behind Spirit. Pulled in support of Mithy and Sven, who is moving up that top lane. There's a party in the top lane, and everyone from Origen is invited.
Yeah, but Spirit's going to crash this one, I think. Here he comes, looking for Amazing. They're double teaming him this time. The Ezreal's not going to do a whole lot, but the rest of Origen are there. Febiven's around for moral support, but that's about it. Spirit is so low, and he's going to run straight to power people, but Febiven, he's there first. Soaz melting down, he's taken out. This fight is all kinds of chaotic as Febi's trying to run away. Sven and Amazing turn their attention back to the Blobules to just try and answer back. It's a 1-for-1.
So this was a play Origen learned at the World Championship. It was a play we saw a lot of the Korean teams do, where you push out your bottom lane, you instant recall, and your support and AD carry, they rush to the top lane. And then you surprise people. You force a fight with your top laner and jungler. They don't expect AD carry and support to show up. Suddenly your 4 members. Fnatic, they jumped into it. It looked very scary at first, but they end up trading 1-for-1. Fantastic play by Febiven, and they get the bot lane tower. So despite jumping into a trap, Fnatic, they get out of it, and they get more from it.
Yeah, get themselves a 4,000 gold lead at the moment, as well as 2 of those outer turrets down. So for Fnatic, it's all going well. We're approaching 20 minutes on the clock. I think Origen has really managed to accomplish is secure that dragon earlier on. They do have 2 Rod of Ages for SOAS and PoE, so that is slowly starting to stack up, but their power spike is very, very delayed.
And that's, again, one of the things we talked about, like 5 minutes into the game, how Fnatic were looking to challenge more in the early game. That's why I had to question the Zac pick as well, being like, hey, what is your goal here? Do you want to fight early game? Do you want to have a scaling jungler? Whatever it is. Spirit has been very good at ganking and just being annoying in these fights and allowing Febiven to be okay, allowing Gamsu to get in there with this Orb, who are so strong the first 25 minutes, but then obviously he also starts falling off. So Fnatic are playing a good early to mid game. They need to keep doing this. And Origen needs to say, we don't have to fight, guys. We are scaling up. We didn't need to pick some of these fights.
Origen trying to take the challenge, but Goat Sven, half his health bar's gone. They're just trying to zone him off of the dragon at this point, but they wouldn't say no to a couple of kills. So Fnatic should be able to pick up their first of the game. They will get those battle stats to match. And considering how the fights have been going already, you got to be worried if you're Origen at this point.
Hey, that was as fast a change in 6.1. That's it. That's all it was. Nothing to do with Febiven making a fantastic play. Got himself an Abyssal Scepter completed. Essence Reaver for Reckless, going to work his way towards one of those 2 Zeal-based items, expecting most likely the Rapid Fire Cannon, but the Static Shift did get a buff on this patch as well.
Give me Rapid Fire.
Yeah.
It's a better item, especially when it comes to your overall damage output. I do agree, however, if you need wave here, go for the shift. You have Lucian, you have a LeBlanc, that's enough for Fnatic. They want to be stronger in the fights. And we're obviously super bored of all the fighting and all the action. Instead,
No, we're not!
Everyone wants to look at the minimap and talk about vision instead. That's a new thing in the off-season. Notice how teams are putting the pink wards very defensively. Because again, you have no green wards and you need to be able to spot what is happening. Our team's invading my jungle, so you can see all the way down for Fnatic in the river, defensive pinks. You see from Origen in their own jungle. This is something we will see in almost every single game. If you can break into that jungle and kill these pink wards here, it becomes so difficult to get the control back, because again, you can't just ward over and over again. You run out so quickly, and then you've lost entire control of your jungle. You see Spirit right here. Thank you.
And on the side of Origen, I want to see how they're going to kill this front line at Fnatic. MR on so many members. Spirit's going to slingshot in, but doesn't find any knockup. But take a look, 2 Spirit Visages. The Abyssal Scepter. Yeah, it was a bit harder than I thought.
There's only one Spirit, though.
I'm expecting to see a Locket at some point. Febiven, he's found SOAS.
My word! Febiven should have no trouble locking that one up. He takes the casual route and leads SOAS on a ride.
The spooky
ghosts are slowing him down. Febby is just having a leisurely stroll, and he actually gets locked up for a second.
He's got TP. He did it at Worlds. He's going to try get away. Down in the jungle. Spirit's in trouble.
He's
SOAS
amazing.
stays alive.
I can't believe it.
Out.
He's just able to get away from that one, and this is why you can't take anything for granted on this. So nobody goes down in that ridiculous run back and forth, and everybody goes back home to reevaluate their options.
Still 2 summoners used from SOAS. The teleports are so important for them, especially because they are behind. They need to be able to defend multiple lanes and still teleport in and join a fight. That's gone now for SOAS. Febiven?
Oh, man, it manages to get out though.
He's fine.
That Sonic Wave had connected. Could have been some trouble. There's a replay of that teamfight we missed while we were watching up in the top lane.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Spirit and the rest of Fnatic, we talked about how important it is to deny these pink wards now, because it's so hard to get the vision. Engage with Power Revo. And
that was
basically the replay.
And then we saw what happened right after that. So we've in the other order.
Yeah, we've jumped out because Sven was killed. I'm going to assume by Gamsu, who's now 5-0-1. So that's what happened while we were in that replay. I imagine he just got run down. Arcane Shift isn't going to protect you from Ragnarok and Undertow.
That is one of the big things this Olaf pick does give Fnatic. When you're against a blue build Ezreal, if you have these slow champions who can get slowed down and kited super easy, blue build Ezreal would be absolutely fantastic. Olaf obviously ignores that. So he can't get onto Ezreal, he can stick to him. We're going to guess that's what happened. And he got the kill.
And, you know, if you step back and you look at the pick and ban, the Zac and Olaf as the last 2 lock-ins here for Fnatic, after seeing the majority of the Origen team composition, pretty smart picks. Helps you get around some of the engage problems for Fnatic with the long range of Zac. All of the CC and slows disregarded by Gamsu's Olaf. A little bit of credit to maybe some last-minute pivoting. We don't know if this was practice or, you know, let's make a decision when you see your opponents. But either way, it's working out, and so as he's being chunked out.
Yeah, he's already at half his health, and he's going to have to stand to the safety of that turret, backing away now. But, you know, to Gamsu, that man on the map, it really shows how much well-placed faith Fnatic had in picking him up, because we mentioned earlier, he didn't really impress on Dig, but we knew he was an aggressive player.
It's game one.
It's true, but this is a great
have to
start.
make
Huni
your
was in
decision.
game one at some point too. And it's worked out so far for them. Also the Olaf pick too, that kind of harkens back a little bit to earlier last year, as we see Soaz having to tomb himself again, but he might be in a tomb after this. Able to get away, but not from Febivin. Taken out, and the Swag Ghosts come after the fact.
Origen is just being pressured in every single lane. They're sitting there, they're losing summoners, they're losing teleports, and it's just so easy for Fnatic to keep the control.
Oh, Amazing is going to get killed. All too easy for Fnatic.
Man can't even do his own jungle camps anymore.
No, definitely cannot. Mithy wants to chase. Subjugate has been used. Two-shot barrage does not find a target. Down in the bottom lane, Gumsu has teleport and is continuing to pressure the wave clear of PoE. And as OGR spread thin, Reckless is hammering away the mid inner turret.
Just a very classic 1-3-1 setup for Fnatic, where you push in every lane and then you start roaming through the enemy jungle, where you were taking out some of their wards and you just gank them. On the turrets, it doesn't matter. That's where the Zac really shines. He can dive so effectively. Also with the mobility off of LeBlanc, it's very easy for Fnatic around Febivin to create these picks here. And what a performance by both Febivin and Gamsu, but also full credit to Spirit on this Zac here. He's been everywhere on the map.
For Fnatic. The next step now is looking towards those inhibitors or maybe towards the Baron. A team that was so well known in the 2015 season for their effective and powerful Baron use. That could be the next step to closing this game out. They've already got the lanes under their control. They've already got the massive advantage with the 7,000 gold lead. And that can be the tool to help you finish it off.
Yeah, we've looked at this a lot from Fnatic's point of view, and we were considering that they weren't going to be the favorite necessarily going into this game. But how does Origen come back? They've got themselves into a fairly deep hole here, but they still have a wombo combo team fight. How do they force Fnatic to play that game?
The thing I like to see from Origen is you keep 1 or 2 defensive wards around Baron, but you don't really go in towards it because you don't want to risk a big open fight. And you just honestly try and play as defensive as possible while keeping vision in your own jungle. So you can start spotting when Fnatic are moving and trying to set up their ganks, because you have teleport now for Soaz, and then you try and you basically set a bit of a trap. If you see an aggressive move, you teleport in behind with the Sandra. You have Amazing already up there, and you surprise Fnatic by pulling 5 guys towards maybe 2 or 3 members. You might have to sacrifice a tower, but that's what can open up for a potential Baron in 5-6 minutes time for Origen. They need to get 2 or 3 kills and then an objective. Otherwise, this is gonna keep happening, because Fnatic will keep the 1-3-1 going. Febivin can out-trade anyone in the 1v1, and he's just getting so much damage on towers. So Origen are really in a tough spot.
Let's see if they can get a kill on Gamsu. Gamsu's got Ragnarok up, but he's got 4 members of Origen to deal with. He's going to be running away. In fact, he's going to eventually go down 1 or 2 more shots. Kill credit to Sven. Look at the middle lane though. Fnatic, they're pressuring the turret.
But this is exactly what we just talked about. Origen, they know they cannot keep defending towers on their own, so they have to go together and gank someone. And now they can take a fight, 5 versus 4.
Looking for Spirit right now. He's going to have to just flash right away. And will they slip through the fingers of Origen here?
Hey!
The big poppy ult. The hammer says nay. And you will lose no more than Olaf today.
It is still great seeing Origen understanding what is our way back in this game. It's not sitting back and basically just looking at our towers die, because the tier 2 towers and tier 3 towers are also weaker normally than we do.
B-word.
This is the Baron.
It's the B-word. 12 seconds before Gamsu's up. He has teleport
This is gonna
available.
go wrong for Origen. This is so risky.
Let's
This is
see.
incredibly risky.
The rest of Fnatic are coming in. 4-man team. Let's Bounce is available. Mithy is already peeled at Origen. They want the fight.
They're turning for it. There goes the True Shot Barrage, but in comes Spirit. Soaz is still taking, and now Amazing manages to pick a shutdown. Noxiac will take out Soaz in the back. Reckless sends a calling, forcing a flash, several away, but Gamsu is not going to let him get out of there. Down goes the troll. Spirit still ticking, but Fnatic look like they have taken this fight.
Sven wants to try pick one on the back end, but it won't work. A 2 for 2, but it was Origen that peeled off Baron and got themselves a kill.
Origen really feeling the pressure. Felt like they almost had to go for this Baron here to either get it just before Gamsu respawn. Obviously he had to teleport. Again though, Fnatic have been playing the map well. Origen trying to get back in this game, but it's so difficult for them. Let's see the fight again. Soaz onto Febivin. The remaining damage deals are coming fairly late, and they do get him down, but they invest everything onto that 1 kill. And now Gamsu's here, full HP, overly fed Olaf. Piece of cake for him.
Oh, that's just brutal.
And then during the course of that fight, Reckless actually dealt 3,200 damage, I'm being told from our stats guy, more than half of his team's total. And you can see he wasn't caught by the shockwave, he was skirting on the back line. Origen's focus on Febvin just gave Reckless all of the time to get the damage down, and he made it count.
Yeah, this Lucian has been absolutely ridiculous. I bet Forgiven's watching right now, just salivating.
It's easy to be ridiculous when you have such a fed, such a strong front line. Spirit and Gamzu are such big threats and problems by themselves that Origen have to deal with 1,000,001 problems. And Lucian is just another one added to the list.
Yeah. This Lissandra pick has not necessarily panned out all that well either. He's been forced to use his ultimate very defensively, oftentimes just because he's getting chased down by Gamsu or Febvin. Soaz has not had that much of a chance to shine this game and pull that signature crazy aggressive style that he likes, as Fnatic now getting chased away by Origen on a power move.
There's no real support from the rest of Fnatic. Reckless is peeling away. Febvin was coming from the bottom lane. And Origen didn't really commit, but they're still holding themselves 8,000 gold down. 30 minutes up, Baron's still standing, and we're going to start the Baron dance for the next few minutes.
Yeah, that's why I like that play from Origen, trying to force something in mid, because you want to keep that control of mid lane. See how Gamsu, he's trading again.
Here comes Spirit, he's kicked away, but Amazing still being chased on. Soaz is gonna get evaporated with a little bit of help from the rest of Fnatic. Spirit takes that one in a 5v4 now. Febvin, a little bit extra damage, but he dodges away looking for Power of Evil. Now the culling went out, but it wasn't enough to finish him off. The ball will zone, but Origen are forced inside their own base. It is a dire situation for them right now.
Fnatic onto that inhibitor turret. This will fall shortly if not interrupted. Origen trying to mount the smallest defense. So as will be up in a few seconds. He almost goes down. The shield is up. Spirit manages to get him. Let's bounces inside the face of Origen, and that could be it. Fnatic take the inhibitor. They've got a minion wave Conga lining up behind them, but they will play this one safe, and they will back out to finish later today.
They are 30 minutes into this game, a massive power move for them, 3 kills, inhibitor gone, and you can guess what's on everybody's mind right now. It's the big purple worm. They don't even need to worry about this. They can pick someone off, they can start it. The game is in their hands.
This is the way back for Origen, though. This is their chance. If they can get something here, if they can steal that Baron.
Noxiax just buying time here.
Basically the only cover. Power Viva has done it before.
And he's not going to do it today. Baron secured by Fnatic at the cost of Noxiax's life. He's magical, he's not that magical.
Gotta call that one work, though.
For Fnatic, that's it. Super minions in the middle lane. Baron, they will have TP up in about 1.5 minutes time, and they can just keep pressuring those lanes more.
Febvin has been insane in this game here. The confidence on this guy. Hooney is no longer there. So the overall early game plan is not just like camp for top lane, you know, sit and farm mid lane and whatever. We know Febvin can play both styles. He can play aggressive, he can play defensive. He talked about how he had to step up and become more of a carry for this team now. And what a performance from him. Of course, for Gamsu as well, we have to keep highlighting it. But this LeBlanc pick has been so annoying for Origen to deal with. He just constantly jumps in, and he might not always get the kill, but he's always forcing a summoner, forcing someone back into the base, and that gives full map control to Fnatic every single time.
Canceled the back just by showing face. Febvin has become an incredibly scary person on this LeBlanc, and we knew he was capable of this. Gamsu, that threat is there, of course. Reckless still dealing this damage. I mean, Origen have so much to fear from this roster, and with Baron buff on 4 members, this Dragon is completely free.
Great performance from Fnatic so far. First showing since IEM Cologne, and we heard Febvin saying in the pre-game video, the matchup, that never really rated PoE, showing the impact he can have. And this LeBlanc was, you know, second rotation. Lucian LeBlanc with the 2 champions picked, Febvin and Reckless, and they are both performing admirably.
Yeah, and everyone on this team really is doing their job. We had questions about Spirit and Gamsu, how well they were going to be able to communicate. Obviously, Fnatic have done the Korean pickup before, but it seems to have gone completely perfectly for them so far. This is game 1, as you mentioned, but it is looking near flawless against what many consider to be the top-tier team in Europe.
It's like, nope, not dealing with that one again. Fnatic is pushing on this top tower. Remember, again, these towers are a little bit weaker. Right now, Reckless will be able to take it down super quick if he ever gets close enough. You can see how Soaz is always flying away the claw, just being like, you're gonna hit the tower. That's the engage. Obviously, QSS is there for Reckless. Fantastic item now, by the way, when you upgrade it. Adding some lifesteal on it was very, very big.
We'll see whether or not Soaz can actually get enough damage down onto Reckless or Febvin. But it may not be enough, because Gamsu will just be there to reply. Now that Gamsu is teleport, he's come back to push the bottom lane with the last sort of third of that Baron buff timer. And And for Fnatic, they're looking to break open the base further. Super Minions on the steps of the middle lane. And it is a long season, 18 games, 9 weeks, and Origen didn't have the strongest start as far as training is concerned, but for Fnatic, another very big message right out the gate. Up in the top lane, Spirit, he wants to look to finish. They've broken the inhibitor.
Talking about messages right now, they walk away and then walk right back on in. Origen thinking twice about this one. Shockwave not going to connect, forces the flash. Amazing. Reckless is right in the front, but he has absolutely no fear in here. Another inhibitor is going to go down. A couple of nails already in this coffin of Origen, but they are trying to claw their way back out. Soaz goes down, taken out by the Viking. Noxiac actually getting the kill credit. Febvin going in, going back. They just can't catch these guys.
Sven gets chunked out real low, and even though Reckless was burst down, that Mercurial Scimitar allowed him to get out of the CC, get to safety, and it meant Soaz went down as well. Minions took a Nexus turret, as well as that top inhibitor turret going down, but crucially, the inhibitor still stands. Origen, they are not going down quietly, but my word, do they have an uphill battle.
One tower left for Origen. Luckily, only super minions coming through the mid lane. And we kept talking about how they wanted to scale up here with the Oriana, with the Ezreal. Even more so because Power People went for Rod of Ages after, of course, it become a super strong item here in the offseason, but it does slow you down. And really for Origen, they've just been too focused on getting towards the late game, and then full credit to Fnatic for constantly looking to force fights. And whenever Origen doesn't need to dodge, he doesn't care. But whenever Origen felt like now we can take a fight, Fnatic had already roamed. Noxiac was leaving bot lane, Gamsu was leaving top lane before fights even started, so they were always there with more members, and they could therefore win the fights, force Origen to fall so far back on the map, and that's really what's been a big issue for Origen in this game.
There's nowhere further to fall back to if you are Origen or an Origen supporter.
Hide in the fountain.
Hide in the fountain. That's not going to pay off if you want to pick up that big W. Febvin is starting to hit the middle inhibitor. Gamsu again, he's going to be pushing down bottom. He's got TP if it's needed. And the rest of Fnatic pushing up top. Good control, good decision making, and Soaz, he's looking to engage. They went to root Noxiac, but that's not who you want. Soaz gets burst down already. Amazing's looking to knock away Reckless. Gamsu's still in the base. There's a stun there onto Power of Evil, as now Origen are peeling backwards.
The whole team is just too darn slippery. Quick shot, down goes the inhibitor in the bottom side as Gamsu takes it out, and he rejoins the fight, wrecking and rolling all the way through him. That is an ace. That will be the game. The last inhibitor, the last Nexus turn is going down, and you had question marks? I don't think so. Guess what, boys? FNC is back for the summer of 2016. Or spring, rather. We almost had it, guys.
Pirate, I did not
tried.
blame you. That was an exciting
I got too
end.
excited.
An exciting game, and on the looks of Fnatic, just grins all round.